ridiculous, but my head is killing me. It's like right here in my eyes. So anyway, so I did it. So last night, there's this term that I keep on hearing, or I've heard forever. I believe it was by Dan Kennedy, which he's a copywriter, and it's basically that there is no strategic advantage of being second lowest price, right? So, which basically means it's either you should be the yeah, if you can be the cheapest, great. If not, like you got to be the most expensive, right? And so I just pricing. We were so if you're a fence company in like the Jersey area, Pennsylvania, Delaware, things like that, we had we were going to drop our pricing. Was at 115, and we are going to drop it to 112, and starting on Monday, and I think the posts were going to be 29 per post. I was actually able to negotiate a better deal from my suppliers, and because of that, I ended up dropping the price to 108. So if you're in the fence industry with vinyl panels, 6 foot, um, like as well as I do, like we haven't seen these pricing in like forever, right? And originally I wasn't going to drop it that much. Honestly, I'm leaving more money on the table. But at the end of the day, like I keep on saying to myself, like, what do I have to do in order for these people to like feel dumb not to even try us, right? And like obviously I could give away the stuff for free. Obviously that's not going to work financially. So I kept on saying, like, what can I possibly do, and to the point where they just have to use me, right? Or at least try. So that's what we did. So we ended up dropping the panels to 108, the post to 25, and it's Homeland material. So if you know anything about fence, like Homeland, it's an awesome, awesome product. We have one big supplier in the area that they used to go. They used to use Homeland product. They just got bought out, and then they started. They got bought out by Eastern, and the product's just not as good for a variety of reasons, and like they do dumb stuff too. Like apparently the posts aren't routed correctly. So the guy I was talking to yesterday, which was pretty funny but not really, he's like, yeah, to get the panel into the post, basically he's like, I have to take out 3 pickets. I have to squeeze the rail as hard as I can to kind of get it in there, and then basically he has to either kick in the bottom rail or use like a mallet or something to hit in the top rail to get the fence to like fit in there, which makes no freaking sense. Especially come wintertime, it's you have like it's going to be more brittle, right? So you might be cracking posts, stuff like that. And like people have been complaining nonstop, and they're basically like, yeah, we'll switch it in the wintertime when we slow down. Well, it's months away, and thousands of posts that they're routing out that they don't need to do it this way. But whatever. So makes my life easier. Get people in. But anyway, that's where we're kind of at. Because it was still the same thing. Like I don't really advocate for being the cheapest price for like contractors and stuff because it's really hard to make the margins and everything else. But the reason why I'm doing it is one, it's really to bring in customers. Like at the end of the day, like if you have a supplier that you're already using and you like and all that and trust, like what are the likelihood of you like going somewhere else? And the answer is it's really really small, right? So you have to do something drastic. Something has to happen. One is we keep up with the follow-ups and stuff like that because like people might say no. Like for me, like when I have my supplier, it's like no, I'm good. Like I'm not going to use anyone else, blah blah blah. But then there's things that happen that if you catch the person in the right time, that they're going to end up switching over, right? And it's the same for your contracting business. This is why follow-ups are really important because, like, if it's a fence or deck or whatever else, like when they first reach out, it's really important. But as time goes on, it becomes less and less important to the point where they don't really need it or want it anymore. But then if you're following up with them on a monthly or every 6 weeks, 2 months, something like that, there's going to be a point in time where you catch them at the perfect time and it's exactly when they want it and you reach out and then they're going to buy it, right? And the problem, not really the problem, but like you don't know when that's going to happen. Like I have a guy that's been following me for um for either SEO services or Facebook ads or I don't know, something for the longest time because I reached out and within minutes, I was or like hours or days or something like that. I'm like, I don't really need it. But in that heat of the moment, I probably would have bought it, right? But anyway, he reaches out, and I'm sure it's like an automatic email series or something, or should be. But he'll reach out every 2 months, and most of the time I ignore the email. I don't open it up or, whatever, or I might open up depending on what the headline is. And then, but I don't do anything with it. But there's going to be some point in time, he's going to catch me in the right mood and there's going to be an email and it's just going to work. Right. And so it's the same thing with these contractors, even though they know, like, and trust who they currently have, we were in the same boat. And then, but you'll get these times where they screwed up your order several times, or something happened and they didn't take care of you the way you thought they should be taken care of, or they lose a key employee, like your sales rep or whatever, and then the whole thing goes to shit. So at some point, they're if we reach out enough, as long as we're not annoying and providing value and stuff like that, you're gonna get them as customers at some point. But it could be days, could be weeks, could be months, could be years. It could be. But if you set up automatic emails and whatnot to go out every 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever, well then at that point you don't have to do any work. It just does it for you. So that's what I got for today. I don't think really much else.